the lead is the pushing of the tush. So Rich McKay is the CEO of the Falcons and also the longest standing member of the NFL Competition Committee.
And he signed Ike Reese back in 2005.
And he signed Ike Reese back in 2005.
Yeah.
And he, do we have it ready? I know you're putting your finger up.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on.
There it is.
That's called delaying.
Here is what he had to say.
Number one, I'm going to go back to what I said the other day on the call, which is you never like any discussion in any room to be projected towards a team or two. It's never something we've ever liked doing because that's not why it's being discussed. In this case, I think the discussion became number one, safety. Number two, should you have to defend it? Number three, is this part of the history of football? All those kind of discussions happen. I think we evolved to the idea that, we did, up to 2004, we had rules in place that prohibited pushing and pulling, just prohibited it. And we deleted that from the book because it became harder for our officials to officiate downfield what was going on. And so that got deleted. From that came a play like this, and a formation like this. So I think the idea was, listen, as opposed to voting on this particular proposal today, Green Bay asked, could we go back and talk about reintroducing the 2004 language?
Shut this guy up, Jack. Shut this guy up. Shut him up. Shut him up. Shut him up. So this is what Rich McKay said as the NFL pushed the vote on the tush-push ban back until May. And he's lying. He's lying. They're all lying. The Packers are lying. The Bills are lying. Rich McKay is lying. They're all lying. He said he doesn't like for this rule discussion to be focused on one or two teams. Well, it is. It's mostly just focused on the Eagles because the Bills are the other team that did it a bunch and they're against it as well. And they're pushing it back to May because they know they don't have the votes to ban it now. The entire league, the Bills, the Packers, they're all scheming against the Eagles because they can't stop this one play. And they say it's injury related. Lie. Okay, the rule was before 2004. Okay, that's 20 years ago. That's 2 decades ago. They want to stop the Eagles from doing it because the Eagles can do it and nobody else can do it well and nobody can stop it, and they want to change the rule because of that. And the Eagles should, Ike, in my opinion, go raise hell, do whatever they can do, buy votes, whatever they can do, however they can talk to the other teams to make sure this doesn't get banned. One, because it's BS. And I'm not one of those guys that thinks, oh, everybody's always against us. That sort of like Philly complex that we always have. But in this case, it's true. Mm-hmm. Everybody's against us. And the other thing is this would be a massive, massive detriment to the Philadelphia Eagles on the football field. This is a huge advantage that the Eagles have that nobody else has. It is a lot more successful than regular quarterback sneaks. It is a lot more successful than giving the ball to the running back with only 1 yard to get. We essentially have a cheat code for a 1 yard play, and the rest of the league is trying to ban it because they can't stop it. I think this would not, first of all, I think it's BS that are trying to do it, but the second thing is, I think it would really hurt the Eagles next year and in the future if they end up banning this.
Yeah, this is where I disagree. I disagree with you and anybody else that feels somehow this is going to hamper the Eagles from being successful moving forward. I just don't see it that way. I don't buy it. It's not as if when they start using this play. When Nick got here 4 years ago,
I was going to say 4 years.
Yep. 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
We won a Super Bowl without using the tush push already. We literally won a Super Bowl before we started using the tush push. I mean,
we've been to 2 since we started using it.
I understand that. My only point is that I'm not telling you that it's not an advantage. You just call it a cheat code. So that lets you know it's an advantage.
It's a huge advantage.
Okay, that's fine. My point is that I don't believe the Eagles will be any less successful to the point of wins and losses by not using it. That's my contention.
I have no data to prove that what I'm saying is right. All I have is what I see. Mm-hmm. And what I see is the Eagles choosing to do this when they could do those other things.
Sure.
So they're definitely more successful using this than they would the other things, or they wouldn't be using it. I can only guess, but that would be my guess.
Well, no, they understand that it gives them a clear advantage to be able to push the quarterback forward.
Sure.
That's why they use it. Not because they can't do anything else. They've chosen not to do anything else. They've chosen not to run regular quarterback sneaks.
Because this is more successful.
Yeah, because there's an advantage of pushing a player.
Yes, so why should we lose? It's a huge advantage for the Eagles.
That's why the other teams don't want it.
I understand that, but if it was just this cheat thing, like and we'll talk about it in a bit, the torpedo bat, if it was just, or the tornado bat, whatever the hell it's called, then everyone would just do it. Right, but everyone's trying to do this and they can't, and that was the thing that Sirianni said. 2 months ago, or 6 weeks ago when he first talked about it, I think it's sort of like insulting to the Eagles to say that because the Eagles have perfected it and can do it, and nobody else has figured it out.
Sure,
right. So I just
and not many people are trying it either.
The Bills, one other team.
Some teams are just choosing not to do that for whatever reason.
Maybe because they can't do it. Maybe they've tried it in practice and they can't do it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I just think the Eagles should do whatever they can do. I think Jeff Lurie should call whoever he could call. Howie Roseman should call whoever he should call. Nick Sirianni should call whoever he could call. Jalen Hurts, call whoever you can call, because this advantage that the Eagles have over the rest of the league, we lose it next year if it's gone.
Yeah,
I think it's just.
And you think that affects us?
Yes, significantly. See, I love the fact that if it's 3rd and 1, there's no way we're not getting the first down. And no other team in the league has that advantage. Well, if we have 2 chances to get it, no other team in the league has that advantage. We have that advantage of it. We get to a 3rd and 1, we're like, all right, well, we're converting here. I don't want to lose that. And I think it puts the Eagles in a worse situation next year.
I can understand why you don't want to lose it, because it's successful.
Yes.
But here's my thing. I'm not under the belief that the team won't be successful moving forward without it. That's the difference with me. I can understand why other teams don't want the Eagles running.
Sure, I can understand that too.
I understand that part of it. The health stuff is all a bunch of excuses. It's a play that I believe the teams, I don't know, maybe they don't find it aesthetically pleasing. I don't know what it is.
You know what?
I don't know.
I would actually find I would think there would be a better reason for it if all the teams could do it. Because if all the teams could do it, I could see the gameplay issue, right? We don't want 16 games a week of 10, 15 tush pushes a game. But the fact that nobody else can do it, actually,
what if the rest of the league was doing that?
Then I think you come up with then I think you could talk about changing the rules. If it changes the aesthetics of the game in a big way, every league has made changes like that.
Sure.
Football's made changes, but I can't think of it's like wilt. Like what other time in the history of sports are we changing the entire rules of a league? Sam Hinkie changed the entire rules of a league because one team did something really, really well.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But we do realize, and he mentioned it there, that there was a time where it wasn't legal to
Absolutely.
do. So
Absolutely.
It's not as if it's been legal in football for 50, 60, 70, however long football's been around, 75 years, 85 years.
Sure.
And all of a sudden the Eagles started winning Super Bowls, so they decided to change it.
Sure.
That's not the case.
All right.
Right?
Yep. 215-592-9494. Is it a big deal for the Eagles if they ban the tush push, which it looks like they're going to do? And before we get to the phones, the last thing I want everyone to do is Ike is giving Rich McKay and the Packers and the Bills a little bit of a break in calling them excuses, what they're saying.
Yeah.
I want everyone to say the right word. They are lies. Rich McKay is lying. The Bills are lying. The Packers are lying.
Well, why would the league not want it?
They're lying because essentially the league serves one purpose: to make the owners happy, right?
Sure.
Make all the owners happy. So if a preponderance of owners want to get rid of it, then the league basically does what the owners want to do. There's very few.
Well, that's why they put it to voting.
Right.
But it's being put to votes.
Right.
Though.
And even the NFL, I was reading the story, I think it was by Albert Breer, where the NFL doctor is like, well, there haven't been any injuries, but what we're really worried about is there being a really bad injury if it happens. It's like, come on, man. I could say that about so many plays on the football field. I want to see some data. If you're going to tell me it's because of health, I want to see some data. I want to see a diagram about how it's going to hurt them. Because as much as the Eagles have done it over the last 4 or 5 years, I can't remember any injuries happening because of this. And I can remember tons of injuries happening in practice, happening on regular pass plays. All right.
Whatchamacallit got hurt in the Super Bowl, didn't he? Chris Jones.
Because he lined up sideways.
What, he's trying to come up with different ways to stop the
sure,
play.
I know.
Well,
But
he's trying to come up with creative ways to stop the play, and he gets injured.
We're going to get. What if we sign some? What if we sign some real fast guy that nobody can catch? Are they going to ban him too?
No.
Let's not be dramatic.
When the offense,
they're going to ban Saquon because he's too good.
When the offense has a clear advantage of pushing someone with two people on top of an offensive line, the defense has to come up with creative ways to try to stop it.
I agree, but my only point would be if it's such an advantage, why can't anybody else do it? Like, why can't anybody else do it? That's my only point of this, is that...
Well, it's a clear advantage, and you know it.
It's an advantage, but if everyone else could take advantage of it, they would be doing it. I would think. That would be my guess.
I would think so, too.
All right, 215-592-9494. Do not let them lie to you. Don't let Ike lie to you.
I'm not lying to you.
215-592-9494. If they ban the tush push, is it a big deal for the Eagles? And we do have a next question today. On this day in 1963, I can't believe this is when this has happened, General Hospital debuted on ABC.
63?
63.
Wow.
General Hospital debuted.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I remember.
I didn't watch it, but it's 63. But
yeah, it was on when, that was a mom show when I was a kid, but I didn't know it debuted in 60.
When Luke and Laura finally got married.
Yeah, there's a big one.
Yes.
And General Hospital, was that the one where, who was the guy? There was one guy when we were young that everybody thought was the hottest guy in the world on General Hospital. I'll try to, Jack something? Jack. No,
I thought you were asking me, Jack. I'm like, yeah.
No. His name was Jack.
What's his face on there? George Clooney?
George Clooney did do.
No, George Clooney was on at the nighttime show.
Really?
Yeah,
that was
General
ER.
Hospital.
He didn't do soap operas.
No, he did Grey's Anatomy or something, wasn't he?
No,
Was it
no,
ER? He was on ER, but that was on at night.
Well, Stephen A. did General Hospital.
He still does.
Oh, he does.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
he's
for
like a guest appearance.
So for next question today, give us your all-time favorite daytime TV show. Jack, what do you got?
So I don't want to take a big answer, so I'm going to give everyone a Jack answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go according to Jim with Jim Belushi.
According to Jim.
Come
What type
on,
of
man.
stupid show is that?
It was on when I would get back from school.
Okay.
Yeah. So, before I would turn
Was
on
it a talk show?
No, it was just a sitcom.
On during the day?
Yeah, at 2 o'clock. No, it's not your traditional daytime
Was
TV.
it on Nickelodeon or something?
No, according to Jim, it's Jim Belushi.
Yeah, Jim Belushi. But I think it was on Nick at that point. No,
Okay.
probably,
That was ABC.
It was ABC, but I think it got rebroadcast.
Oh, so you just picked a syndicated show?
Yeah.
That's not a daytime. Get out of
Tell
here.
you, dude, we go to
He's
this
the
dude every time
worst.
for something.
We're going to ban him from
Totally
next
is
question.
checked out on our side question.
Well, because he's been working on that stupid book
of his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ike, favorite daytime TV show? We both had the same.
Oh, man. Favorite daytime TV show. Oh, man. Wow. I could do game shows. I could do talk shows.
There's a lot.
Speaking of checked out on the next question.
No, I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to pick.
Which one he wants to pick?
I'm going to pick Jerry Springer.
It's a goat. Jerry Springer's a goat
How many
answer.
classes I missed to watch Jerry Springer?
He was your mayor.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
And the only
That's probably why I stayed locked in.
and taking such a big answer off the board, you being a Cincinnati native,
Yes.
I think this is completely legal. You
Okay.
taking Jerry Springer
I
off.
appreciate it, yes.
So me, I'm going to take one little left to center here, Sesame Street. Sesame Street is a daytime TV
is,
show, and
yeah.
it was a goat show. I grew up watching Sesame
PBS.
Street, loved Sesame Street. Even growing up, sometimes I'd be flipping around and I'd be like, Sesame Street's on. Always like Sesame Street.
You mean even now?
I never see it. I'm not home.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
so
just saying.
I like never watch TV
All
now.
those shows now, man. You get older, those shows seem creepy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were all good when we were young.
Yeah. Well, especially the ones with the at least, and this
what
one
I'm
had
saying.
adults. There were adults in it. Why are they only hanging out with kids and animals? That's weird. All right, 215-592-9494. Looks like the NFL is going to ban the tush push in May.
We'll
They're
be
figuring
okay,
out.
everybody.
I'm telling you, it's a huge deal. Is it a big deal or not?